Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to the fourth and final round of my locals from August 20th. Here we have Tear versus Dragon Link. Wanted to mix something up, get something that isn't Tear or Sprite. I mean, we have Tear here still, but it's a unique build of Tear, my man Partho. Normally the DDD CEO himself trying out the Tear, as like I said before, his in-quote fun deck versus Philly D, the Dragon Master, who's, stayed, loyal to the cause, still playing the Dragon Link deck post-Pote. Obviously, the deck's still very good. Can't forget that. So wanted to get some variety, right? So we're going to see Partho lead with a Supreme Sea Mare, dumping Merly fusing with a Merly to go into a Kit Kalos effect to go ahead and either add or send a Tearlament monster or send a Tearlament card. I believe it adds or sends a Tearlament card. Pretty above average card, right? Rhoda accessible via the extra deck. Honestly, better than a Rhoda, right? Because it can add any card. It can add your Meta Noise, your Salix, your Crimes, your more Crimes, if you feel like adding it. And it looks like he will go for a copy of Salic, the continuous tribute a Tear. If you control a Tear, I believe, I think all the Tear traps require you to at least control a Tear to negate a monster. Then we're going to see him use Kit on itself to bring out Rhino Art. We're going to see him mill a Havnus, a Dynamiscus, a Lost Wind, and I think another Salic and a Merly. We already know Merly has been used this turn, so he will not get Merly's effect. But he will get Rhino Heart's effect to send here, and he will send what looks to be a Havnus. Also, Salic is a Searcher when it hits the grave, so he will go ahead and add Sharon. And then Havnus will resolve, putting back both Havnuses. I gotta say, the one crazy thing about the Tearlament strategy is its ability to recycle cards. Very, very impressive. We're gonna see him go for a second Kikalos, and then overlay the Supreme Sea Mare and the Rhino Heart for a Bahamut Shark, detaching Supreme Sea Mare to summon out Totally Awesome, setting 2. And that will do it for turn. Lost Wind and Dynamiscus in the graveyard. It's a very trap heavy build of the Tear deck. That's why I think his build is pretty unique, and one of the reasons why I wanted to have it on for you guys to see. But yeah, I mean, the Bahamut Shark play is something that is, technically possible, very accessible in quotes in the Tear strategy. Something we don't see a lot of people play. It's kind of in quotes like a far-fetched play, but we see it working very, very well here. We're going to see Philly D lead with the one and only quick launch to go for a Rocket Tracer, linking that into a copy of Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon will activate its effect. We'll see him activate a Havnus in response. We're going to see him mill 3. Does hit a Sharon, and that will proc Sharon to fusion for a copy of Dragostapelli. He did have a Kit Kalos engraved, so now he has access to another interruption this turn. We're going to see the normal summon of Zeaman here. Zeaman will go ahead and search after paying 6, a copy of Deer Note. Also, importantly, keeping his opponent off of that. Well, I was thinking to say he's keeping off the Boot Sector launch, but the Boot Sector launch search did go through. Sometimes I forget that Havnus isn't a negate. It can lead to a negate like we saw here, but it does get access to Boot Sector. And we're going to see, the classic Punk line into Chaos Ruler. And then we're going to see the Chaos Ruler get negated by Dragostapelia. We're going to see a Ghost Ogre's Chainlink 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Chainlink 4. And then we're going to see Chainlink 5 Salic, sending off the Havnus to go ahead and make sure the Chaos Ruler does indeed stay negated. Because if the Dragostapelia does get Ghost Ogre, leaves the field, that monster will still get the counter, right? The Chaos Ruler will still have the counter. But it won't be negated if Dragostapelia is no longer in the field. New chain, we're going to see him get to another Dragostapelia after fusing again, thanks to the Havnus hitting the graveyard with the help of the Salic. We're going to see E-Telly now bring out a copy of Gamma. Still pushing through the board here. Still a lot left to get through. We're going to see him go into a Baron de Fleur. Also, this Totally Awesome still hasn't been expended. The second Dragostapelia still not used. Still one set back row. A Lost Wind, which I think my man Partho is forgetting about in the graveyard. We're going to see, I think, both interruptions kind of trade here. We're going to see him attempt to negate the Hulk with the Toad. And then Baron's going to attempt to negate. And then we're going to see, I believe, the Dragostapelia negate the Baron, so the Toad will still go through negating the Hulk there. Hulk baiting out a lot of interruptions. Hulk is a very, very strong card. You obviously don't want that to resolve. Now we're going to see him activate the Graveyard effect of Chaos Ruler here. Or perhaps not. I'm pretty sure that's that Chain 1. Chain Link 1 Hulk. Chain Link 2 Toad. Chain Link 3 Baron. Chain Link 4 Dragostapelia. Now, essentially, in quotes, 0 interruptions left for our tier player right now on board. There is one set still. There still is a Lost One Engrave, which he has been neglecting to use. Is what it is, though. We're going to see him go ahead and special summon the Chaos Ruler back by banishing Striker Dragon and Gamma. Then we're going to see him activate Boot Sector Launch. Checking the graveyard right now. We're going to see him go ahead and special summon one from the hand. It's going to be the Synchron. Then we're going to see him Synchro 9 into Hot Red. So, putting up 2 big Synchro bodies through all of that. It's not terrible. We're going to see him attack into the Dragostapelia, deal some damage. That's going to bring out a Rocket Tracer. And then still in battle phase, Baron's going to swing over the Bahamut Shark. You want to get that off the field as soon as possible. In case there's a second Toad in the extra deck, right? You don't want that card sitting around on the field. And then we're going to see main phase 2. Baron will attempt to pop the other set, which is a Called by the Grave. And we're going to see him go ahead and banish a copy of Foxy, which I think is pretty good. Going to help to turn off the Punk stuff next turn. And accidentally shuffling one of his fusions to the bottom of his deck, fixing that there, correcting it. Easy to get that mixed up sometimes since you're putting so many things to the bottom. It is what it is. Easily correcting that, though. And in main phase 2 here for Dragon Link, there is still a couple things else that could be done. The Rocket Tracer effect on field has not been used this turn, I don't believe. So he could use the Rocket Tracer to get rid of the Baron right now. That's not really doing too much. Or he could get rid of the... I was going to say, he could get rid of the Boot Sector Launch. Keep the Baron on field. That way you still have access to the standby phase tag out. That also seems pretty strong, too. It's also just another body on field. But he is going to elect to get rid of the Baron to Fleur to go ahead and bring out a Recharger. Then I'm going to see him Synchro 8 into a copy of Borload's Savage Dragon. That's going to go ahead and equip the Halka Fibrax to it, giving it a little bit extra attack and 2 counters for an Omni Negate there. And then we will see him pass turn. We're going to see him start with Kit Kalos effect on itself. That's going to bait out the Savage. And then we're going to see him activate Salic in response. And he will chain Hot Red to negate the Salic. So both interruptions being burned there off of a single Kit Kalos. Is not able to clear the Kit Kalos. Is not able to clear the Salic. Turning out to be a huge problem here for Dragon Link right now is this one Supreme Sea Mare that I believe was added back off the Toad is going to help to go in. Normal summoning it, sending a copy of Merly, and Merly will allow him to fusion summon here. And he does really have to worry about 0 interruptions at this point. It's just a matter of clearing the field, getting bodies on field that can do that. We're going to see him put back Toad and a Merly to go ahead and fusion for a second Kid Kalos. The Kid Carlos. We're going to see him go ahead and add a copy of Havness. And then the deck will be shuffled as the some cards will probably be milled. We're going to see him go ahead and mill Insane there, discarding Havness, milling Destrudo, Squamata, and Rhino Heart off that Sheeran. Absolutely bonkers mills. And then we're going to see the Squamata dump Beast. And not using any other effects there, as he will just go ahead and elect to grab the draw. We're going to see him use the Destrudo now, paying half life points, starting the Supreme Sea Mare. It'll go to a level 3. Allow him to Synchro 7 to Black Rose Dragon. Yeah. You probably didn't expect that, right? Black Rose Dragon's going to come down, wiping the entire field. We were wondering where that removal was going to come from without, access to the field spell or without access to Kaleido Heart. Easier said than done, but Black Rose Dragon will definitely get the job done there. And then we're going to see him go ahead and resolve the effect of Kikalos to mill, and then the other effect, I believe it was of the Sheeran to fusion summon. And he's going to go ahead and fusion summon for Winda. And also get the Search off of the Salic to add a copy of Havness. And then Meta Noise is also going to go ahead and add back here, since that hit the grave. Lots of Chainlings here. Lots of Chainlings with this line. There are so many Chainlings. So So now Winda has hit the field. Now we're playing the control game. The boards have been completely equalized. Putting the Dragon Link player on top deck. And really nothing engraved. The Chaos Ruler has already been used, which would be a good way to contest that. Drawing Synchron for turn is pretty nice if he had a good target engraved to be able to revive, which he does not. So we're into a game 2 situation. And as always, a quick reminder, guys, check out Imperium Duelist at the link below. Don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKill10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. And if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please do not forget to use the affiliate link I have to the site down in the description of all my videos. Anytime you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back to the channel and helps out a ton. Just kind of like Gamma, or well, Driver's helping out a lot here, being good discard fodder for that Chaos space, grabbing Black Dragon. You'll see him summoning the Black Dragon, banishing the Driver. So, I mean, it's good to know that the Gamma is out of the game for the immediate future. And he's going to go ahead and go into Striker Dragon, secure the White Dragon, get Boot Sector. We're going to see him Chaos Space, put back the Black after banishing it to go ahead and draw. And then we're going to see him link 2 here into a Romulus, Chainlink 1 Romulus, Chainlink 2 Black, making sure he can get that chain block. Even though I'm pretty sure there's probably 0 hand traps in hand here for our tier players. Is pretty common. You don't want to be milling hand traps, right? It's like the last thing you want to be milling. Unless they have graveyard effects. But, you know, it's still good practice, right? To do your chain blocks if you can. So now we're going to see him secure the White Dragon. Now we're going to go ahead and grab the Ravine. Using the Ravine, discarding Black. And he's going to go ahead and send Abza Router, as is standard. And that is going to go ahead and secure a copy of Rocket Synchron. Is not normal summoned yet, so could normal summon the Rocket Synchron to revive the Abza Router. But we will see him use Magician's Soul, Zumbing Illusion of Chaos. Attempting to dig a little bit deeper into the deck, getting rid of a Dark Ruler. Interesting to see that in the deck here. And getting rid of the Ravine to go ahead and draw 2. I do see a pointer of the Red Lotus in hand. I also see a copy of Triple T. We're going to see Boot bring out a copy of Synchron and a copy of Tracer. We're going to see him link off into a copy of Helk. Helk effect, go ahead and spec a level 3 or lower tuner from the deck. Probably going to go for Gamma, or could go for a hand trap like Ghost Ogre. Or I'm forgetting about Red Rose. We're going to see him go for Red Rose. Synchro 4 into Herald of the Arclight. That will trigger Red Rose. I completely forgot about Red Rose, man. That's what Power of the Elements really does to somebody, you know? You forget about right Red Rose, which is not to be forgotten about. We're going to see him bring out the Rox Rose, grabbing Basil Rose Shoot, and Herald of the Arclight. Very, very strong card here. It says anything, I believe, sent from the hand or main deck to the graveyard is banished instead. So that's going to be kind of a problem for Tearlament, making it so anything they mill is getting banished. Then we're going to see him go for the Basil Rose Shoot here, bring back the Rox Rose. Probably going to go for some kind of Borland play. Borland backed up with a Pointer, backed up with Herald. Looking like maybe being backed up with a Boral Savage. Also looking kind of strong too. One thing this board's really going to lose out to is a copy of Dark Ruler, but he does have a Pointer, so you're going to need 2 Dark Rulers. And Borland cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, cannot be targeted with monster effect, so you need a way to remove it, not via destruction. You need some sort of spell and trap removal that does not destroy. So the field spell won't cut it. But we know Dynamiscus is in the main deck. We know you know, things like Lost Wind is in the main deck as well. We're going to see a Pointer in the draw phase, revealing Dynamiscus, which is that out to Borland, and called by double field spell Merly and Destrudo, the opponent making sure they reveal their hand as well, because you cannot resolve a Pointer if you do not have any cards in hand. That is a public service announcement. We're going to see him pay 2K, revealing the Synchron and the Triple T. And we're going to see his opponent decide to take out the Destrudo. And then we're going to see him continue on here. Okay, you took a Destrudo out of my hand. That's fine. I still have plenty of cards to keep going into this field of, what is 3 interruptions right now? 3 interruption board. One of them happens to also be kind of a continuous floodgate. So we're going to see him go ahead and use the field spell to grab a copy of Havness. And then normal summon Merly. And then he will go to the battle phase. Or no, he will use Merly effect. Yeah, only banishes monsters as well. So he's going to get rid of a Squamata, a Super Poly, and a Triple T. Battle phase, Merly will run over the Herald of the Arclight since it is gaining that 500 attack boost from the field spell. And he's going to have to go ahead and pass turn there. Now, there is a bit of a ruling thing that comes up here, and there's going to be a bit of a cut in the video. The players had a bit of a dispute on when the Deshudo would go back to the hand based on the wording of a pointer. It says during the next end phase of your opponent's turn. The Dragon Link player thought, next end phase means not their upcoming end phase, but the end phase of their next turn. The other player believed that it was during that next end phase, which would be the next end phase that happens, quite literally. So they had a couple judge calls, and it was ruled in the favor that it does return in the end phase of that, that current turn, which would be the actual next end phase, the literal next end phase, not the end phase of the next turn. So they're figuring that out, and then we're going to see him lead with the Rocket Synchron. Rocket Synchron effect will go ahead and be responded to by Havness. Havness will go ahead and mill Sheeran as our Dragon Link player is attempting to go into this rather small field. He's going to go into Kick Kalos and then fusion off again into Garura, Chainlink 1, Kick Kalos, Chainlink 2, Field Spell. Attempting to destroy the Boral Savage. Boral Savage will be forced to negate. Unless he's doing it the other way around, which I imagine he is. Because that's the only way I would understand that Boral Savage is leaving the field if he did it Chainlink 1 Field Spell, Chainlink 2 Kick Kalos. So, continuing to try to play through the board. He does have Triple Tactics talent, and he could go ahead and possibly take the Garura, which is a level 6, which paired with the Boral End could bring back a level 4 tuner, which allows him to synchro into Baron at the cost of his opponent getting a draw, which I guess is not the worst thing, but, an extra card is an extra card at the end of the day. It looks like here we're going to see Dynamiscus targeting the Rocket Tracer before he lets him get access to another Omni Negate. And Dynamiscus does not discard for cost, it discards for effect. That's also, I believe it only targets for cost. So he's going to discard the Deshudo, banishing the Rocket Tracer, opting to not get rid of the Boral End. Which is interesting. I think you'd want to maybe prioritize the Boral End right now, as that was a clean cut out to it. Since I believe it can only not be targeted by monster effects. So we're just see him turn the Garura to attack. Battle phase, attack over the Kick Kalos. Swing in with the Boral End. And unfortunately that Rocket Tracer or Rocket Synchron is at 0 attack, so that cannot swing in for any extra damage. Yeah, I apologize if that cut there, that pointer ruling was very confusing. I do apologize for that. It was very confusing for me to go over as well. So he'll get the Garura draw and then draw for turn after his opponent links for a beautiful Starlight Dark Charmer. And then we're going to see him resolve a Shaddoll Fusion, dumping Beast and Merly to go for Winda. And then it looks like we're going to see Chainlink 1, Merly, Chainlink 2, Beast. So he'll get a draw and then go ahead and Fusion Summon here. He's going to have to get rid of the Winda if he wants to keep playing past it. So he will, getting rid of the Winda and the Merly for Dragostapelia. He'll go ahead and clear the Boot Sector. And he's going to go ahead and summon Sharon by discarding Havness. Misses off the Sharon, but he will resolve the Havness to go ahead and Fusion Summon. Putting back Kick Kalos and another Tear to go for a second Dragostapelia. And Battle Phase will attack over the Dark. And they are calculating life here. And this match is a little scuffed because this does really end in a draw here. Yeah, which draws really don't happen that often in our locals, but this was a very long and grindy match, which did end up resulting in a draw. And the Dragon Link player would technically win since they are up in life. Both players did decide to play out the game 3, and yeah, there is a draw here. I believe our tier player said he had a way to go for a game there, but our Dragon Link player also had forgotten to search a DD Crow, so if he would have gotten that, it could have possibly changed things, but they did play out a hypothetical game 3, and I don't know who won, but either way, huge shout out goes to our Divine level channel members who are Pony Star, Cadillacs84, Justin Lamb, H8 Cyber, and Mango. Thank you guys so much as always for showing me kind and generous support of the channel.